The following is a production of Redneck Announcer Radio. Oh, y'all know what time it is. DSR Electric Truck Series. Let's get it!
Strap in. We're ready to go for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. Everybody 3x3, almost 7-8 rows now as they work up the banking. It's now going to be Taylor Peacock to show the lead. Now here comes Battering in the middle, Broadfoot behind him. Here comes LaBeouf, the defending series champion, almost hit by a bump draft wrong. They make contact. Hendrickson now takes the lead. Thomas is in the wall. Maurer, here comes Stires, and it's going to be Hendrickson to win here in Pocono. Hendrickson gets turned. Morales gets turned. Brian Chew comes to the line. He wins Daytona. What a finish! Brady LaBeouf, the Season 2 champion, finally punches his ticket into the playoffs. Robert Richards comes off turn number 4, and he wins here at Homestead, Miami. They're crashing. Trouble. Parsons got turned. He crashes and turns Barnett. Doucette's around. Parsons is around. Stires is around. Chris Cinnamon wins the race and the championship. He is your NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series champion.
The DSR Electric Truck Series, Season 4, Monday nights at 9, only on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
Monday night, and we welcome you to coverage of the NASRA Clash. This is the Season 4 lid lifter for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. For those that are still a part of the holiday on this Monday, we welcome you to you and yours. We are at Daytona. We are about to jump into what will be the final 10 minutes of qualifying leading up to the duels. That will be next Monday night, but tonight is the All-Star Race, the Clash. We should have an exciting one, no doubt. We're glad that you're ready to join us. It is also Memorial Day, and for the men and women that have fought bravely for our country, and for the men and women that have perished, all gave some and some gave all. It is long believed that sacrifice is the pinnacle of patriotism. Courage is contagious. When a brave man or woman takes a stand, the spines of others are stiffened. The willingness of America's veterans to sacrifice for our country has earned them our lasting gratitude. Freedom isn't free, however, we're all proud to be Americans. And on this Memorial Day Monday, we pause and reflect before we begin our program, virtual or reality, with a moment of silence to remember those that we have lost, for us to have our freedoms like enjoying calling or doing iRacing, followed by the playing of taps before tonight's program. Okay, so for some reason I'm understanding that it's not playing, and I do apologies on that. So we'll figure it out real quickly. And oh, my bad. People, forgive me. I've just woken up probably about 30 minutes ago. I've been on the road all weekend. Now let's try it again. My apologies. Yeah, I don't understand that. My apologies. I thought I had it queued up. Anyhow, we do want to say again, we were going to have a moment of respect and play taps for our men and women, but for some reason it's not piping through. So, anyhow, thank you to them, and we acknowledge them for this Memorial Day. Wesley Outland, we have Dean Doucette. He's making his debut with the NASRA 360 Racing Network tonight. Here's a look at the schedule. As again, forthcoming in a couple of weeks will be Daytona, but we've got some preliminary action that we've got to get for the next couple of weeks. Obviously, Mr. Dean Doucette, and it all starts tonight with, of course, the Clash. You've been a part of some of these races. They're fun, they're exciting, they can be aggressive, and obviously it's just bragging rights to kind of say, I've got a chance to be the guy that's going to be the dominator of the year. Good evening, my friend.
Good evening to you. Couldn't be happier to be here, man. I'm excited for this one. The Clash kicks it off, right? Everybody's pumped up for tonight. It's the beginning of a fresh new season, new dreams, new hopes. Man, I can't wait to get it going. But you said there's nothing on the line. A little something on the line. A few playoff points for the top 5 finishers tonight. So that's something to look forward to. But hey, it's no holds barred tonight, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It certainly is. And while we were trying to work on the Memorial Day ceremonies, obviously, as I aforementioned, 10-minute qualifying session. Now, this 10 minutes that you're watching right now, as you see the number 6 machine of Fred Lester going around the racetrack, this isn't qualifications for, of course, next Monday night's duels here at Daytona. Of course, the duels will then lead up to the big race on June the 10th, which will be the official points race for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. And right now, Dean, looking at a guy that's going to try to turn some heads as Jacob Reeves just finishes up qualifying. Stephen Gregory at the top of the board. And what do you know, there's one of our broadcasters for NASRA, the mountain man from Canada, Robert Hill Jr., out here on the track qualifying.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a ton of guys in this. And that's the thing. Every time these series kick off, right, you've got the old guard, the Stephen Thomases and such that are out here that they're proven commodities out here. But you also got all these new faces that show up, man, that you really don't know, right? You're going to assume they know the competition, so they're probably pretty good. That's what makes this thing great.
Yeah, we're kind of watching what these guys are doing right now on track and trying to put down this best lap. This lap will determine, again, of course, the proverbial lineup for the events that'll be going on here tonight, and we'll have that for you here. Robert Hill Jr., second. Wow, what a qualifying lap put down by him.
Unreal. Great time out here.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that, normally I say stick to the announcer booth, and I've really never really seen him to be, I've never seen him in iRacing race mode, so this will be interesting to see what he does, no doubt. So, all right, Tyler Dittmer, former long-standing color guy, joining me in the booth for NASRA for many seasons, and now he has cut back. He's going to race some this year, and obviously the number 4 Toyota, now from up in Washington State, originally from Gore, Virginia, is finishing up with his qualifying lap.
Yeah, Tyler Dittmer, getting from the booth to the track. I know a little bit about that. You can learn a lot in the booth, can't you?
Yeah,
definitely on top of the board right now too, Wesley.
Yeah, for sure. And Dean, you're no stranger to also running in the world of iRacing, dude. I mean, I know I've called many of the iRacing broadcasts that you've had the Canadian number 5 in, as we see Taylor Peacock from Fowler, Indiana qualify. This guy had the most wins of the regular season of anybody for the season 3. and we'll see now what this 81 can do. But yeah, man, you've actually done. As he goes to 8th position here in qualifying, you've ran a big majority of NASRA events for sure.
Oh, I have, and I love them, right? Because they're so competitive, and the guys are so aggressive out here. I love these onboard shots, too. It gives you a little taste of the speed around Daytona. But, the experience here is that, you come to the Clash here, and it's going to be no holds barred. There's probably going to be a few wrecks, right? This is what it's going to go on out here, because there's only really one thing to do, and that's try and win it. If you're in 15th, 16th, you're going to squeeze it 3 wide. Heck, we might see 4 wide tonight. I can't tell you how much anticipation I have for this stuff.
Yeah, right now, watching now Brady LaBeouf, former series champion, obviously back from season 2, working his way around the racetrack. There has been 3 different champions on this series for the Monday night. This is the season 4 lid lifter, if you will, with the non-points NASRA Clash. Of course, Adam Newbert was the inaugural series champion in season 1. Brady LaBeouf, you just saw him take time, season 2. Chris Cinnamon, of course, the Spice Man, is the most reigning champion here. We'll see what he does. Is right now Justin White on track qualifying in that number 2 Toyota. And here's the thing, Dean, you get 1 lap. You come on that racetrack, you get your truck up to speed, you get 1 lap to qualify. That's all you get to try to put yourself in a elite level, if you will, to try to get that front row spot for the duels, but also for the big race to start points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what goes into it, right? You look at it and it's like, okay, run the yellow line. How hard could it be, right? Just stir left and you're all good. But no. Guys are tweaking on their wheel all week, trying to get the right setting for this, the right smoothness. We're talking about hundreds of a second here you're trying to find, and it's important, right? You want to be first or you want to be last. At least I do when it comes to these things. The last thing you want to do is go out there and put a half-hearted lap and end up dead middle of the pack. That's where all the danger is.
Thanks for those joining us, obviously, in our chat box. Hopefully you and yours are enjoying Memorial Day, whether it's been grilling out or spending time with your family, friends, and loved ones, or being on the road. Obviously, Indy 500 yesterday, the Coca-Cola 600 last night, though cut short. The Grand Prix of Monaco, probably the Wreckfest of Monaco is a nicer way of saying it. I haven't watched any of the races in full because I've been on the road all weekend, but definitely seen some of the highlights of some monumental events here, no doubt. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're about ready to get the field gridded, and it is almost go time here for the NASRA Clash. So let's give you the starting lineup. Kenneth McCullough Jr. is on the pole, the man out of Georgia from Statesboro. To his outside, David Sheets in 06. John Mollahan, Stephen Gregory make up row number 2. Robert Hill Jr., Justin White, row 3. Christopher McCullough, as well as Andrew Harris, row 4. Top 10 will find Colin Weatherholt. Adam Newton, the Bulldog, will start in the 10th position. Chris Blanchard, as well as Brady LaBeouf, Season 2 champion. Dean, your first 12 starters.
Yes, sir. We bring it down to 13th with Bo Tiffany. Taylor Peacock will start on the outside of row 7. Row 8, you got Chu and Barnett. Bullock and Morales will start in row 9 with Schroeder and Hagen in row 10. You got Hendrickson, Parsons, Reeves, Morris, Johnson, Proudfoot, Wiley, Johnson Esquire. I'm not too sure about that one. You got Goodwin, Dittmer, Hammond, Lester, Richards, Pappas, Steve Thomas, Cody Sanderson, Raul Meza, Joey Stairs, and Jeff Sickles, rounding out a nice deep field here.
Great field of drivers, 39 drivers ready to go here. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we are going racing the Clash from Daytona Memorial Day. This is the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
The field is gridding here at the World Center of Racing at Daytona. The field of close to 40 trucks now working on preliminary laps for the NASRA Clash. Let's take a look real quickly at the race analysis for this event. And honestly, it's cut and dry here. No stages. Bottom line, Dean, you got 50 laps, 2 total sets of tires, 100% fuel capacity. You could probably stretch it down to 1 pit run, 3 attempts at overtime if need be. And we are racing at night here at Daytona.
Yeah, my notes have them in at about 41 laps of fuel. Now, I'm not sure about the specifics of what's in the draft or not, but I think guys probably do around 44 even in the draft. Who knows? But I don't think you're going to see anybody stretch it. But with cautions, maybe. So it's going to be interesting, right? If you get an early caution, you guys come in and top up. Do you guys stay out thinking they can make it? There's a lot of decisions that'll be made here. And it's just going to be so interesting to see how this plays out.
And we'll get everybody sorted up here into position, obviously, to get ready to go race. And by the way, the qualifying that you just witnessed did not set the lineup for these Clash races. The lineups for the Clash were done randomly earlier. I was told by a pill draw was what I was told, or based by points. But with that being said, the lineup of qualifying that you saw a few moments ago is for the Clash races, the two twin qualifiers next Monday night. So again, the Clash is the non-points all-star race, but again, there's stage points and playoff points up for grabs. It's got to be, honestly, Dean, if you could win this thing, a great way to start the season, no doubt.
It is. I mean, there's 2 things you want to do here. You want to win the race, of course. That's foremost in your mind. But secondly, you want to make some friends, right? You need friends in super speedway racing. We'll do it again later in the season. And you need friends in general. The last thing you want to do, if you're an unknown commodity, is come out here and wreck a bunch of cars and soil your name early in the season.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for those joining us in the chat box on this Memorial Day Monday night. Thank you so much. If you got any, interact with us. Let us know who you're picking to win this thing, obviously. And again, we appreciate you being able to take your time off on this holiday. I say the word holiday, and on this Memorial Day as we pause, reflect, and remember. I don't know why Taps didn't play, but our apologies on that. But obviously, we did have a kind of special way we wanted to come on to just acknowledge what this day means to us. And of course, we're all proud to be Americans. We got the red, white, and blue proudly in the NASRA logo. And of course, the virtual racing world, real racing world, and Americana go hand in hand. And of course, we're ready now for the field to take the green. However, they're right now going to stay under caution because it looks like, Dean, they're trying to get some more drivers into place, checking the RPMs, making sure that speed is good, where you need to be coming onto pit lane, not get busted with a speeding penalty. And I think we're going to get the lights off of the pace truck this time by, and it looked like they made an extra lap, but we'll be ready to come to green, and it will reset. They will reset when we come back to the start.
Yeah, I mean, getting it right here, that's the main thing, right? You take an extra lap or 2. We've got to get things right. You don't want people being rattled. So, applaud the admins and everything. They're going to get this thing set up, and we're raring to go.
So the field is pretty much right now behind the toe of the pace car. The lineup is set, as we aforementioned. And we're ready to see what these guys can do. 50 laps the distance, obviously. As, you got these guys like Hunter Parsons, Cole Henriksen, Jacob Reeves, Ron Morris, Jeffrey Johnson, Brandon Broadfoot, your first 5. And you got, of course, Wiley and Johnson, Goodwin, Dittmer. So we'll see what these gentlemen can do.
These McCullough brothers out here, I know one of them was up on the pole, I believe. So, they're going to be something to reckon with. I mean, I raced with them a few years back, so it's good to see them out here, man. I think they got a shot here tonight.
Yeah, they're very interesting drivers. I've had the privilege to work with them a time or two in calling some of their McCullough setup shop events, their races that they've done. MSR, I believe is what it is, and these Georgia boys, they're coming to try to spoil the NASRA party, if you will. Strap in, Memorial Day, ready for the field to come to the line, and we are ready for 50 laps. The NASRA Clash, ready to get season 4 underway. First race is 9 points. Here they come to the line, and we are green in Daytona.
Here we go.
Smartest thing to do, get in line, nip tuck one behind the other, find your spot, and maybe ride and drive. Don't be too aggressive early, Dean.
Well, they are. They're already pushing like crazy. The 05 on the outside, giving a big push here. That's Ron Morris Jr. there. Man, he is pushing Hunter Parsons right up to the front, and he leaves him and goes down low.
This is honestly shades of what happened in the greatest spectacle in racing yesterday. Those guys set for 5.5 hours and finally got in their cars right before 5 o'clock, and then before you know, they're take the green and they're 4 and 5 wide quickly to get it started in those open wheel machines, and our virtual trucks coming to the line, 1 lap in.
Oh my, Peyton Johnson up the middle, here we go.
Oh, it's too early for this, guys. Come on.
Oh, wow, what a fight. With him, that's Tyler Goodwin coming down there. They're not holding back here, Wesley.
And Peyton Johnson now powers to the lead of that 46 machine. Morris down to the bottom. He's got help now. Goodwin just gave him a punt. The 15 of Parsons on the outside. And there goes another shot there in the rear in the third turn.
My goodness, these guys playing rough up there. A little further back, everybody kind of being quite orderly, but the very front, boy, they want it, man.
Boy, I am watching all of this going on, guys, and I'm sure the race director for NASRA's like, all right, y'all, this is too early for this. This is too early. But you got to remember, though, you've got 50 laps. This isn't a prolonged race, if you will. 50 laps is 125 miles, yes. But honestly, no doubt about it, you want to get to the end of the race. Don't want to be, making crazy daring moves right now in 2 laps into it. Look at Parsons, Dean, shoot up the hill, and then he's got to get right back to try to find his way to get back to the inside. That's where the line is.
I mean, the 4 of Tyler Dittmar, your old partner here, he got his nose cut a little bit, and there goes someone else right in front of that line. They got to check up a bit. Man, they're getting aggressive.
And remember, the Clash is a non-points battle, but there is perks being added to this event if you win them. As right now, again, Henriksen. Cole Henriksen. By the way, I think I said Chris Cinnamon, but Spice Man. My apology. It was Cole Henriksen who won the championship. Obviously, man put himself in a good spot here, and the Highline Racing entry is on the outside, and Cole Henriksen, the defending champion, trying to pick up right where he left off up at the top.
Yeah, he's getting a push there. I think that's Hunter Parsons he's got with him. Ron Morris third on the inside there. So these guys are really going at it. And like you said, though, I mean, it's way too early still. I mean, the Clash or not, these guys have to make a pit stop. They have to be thinking about that. And some of the old regulars like Brady LaBeouf, and Adam Newton and those types, I think they'll linger around. Justin White, they'll hang around. Someone down on the apron at the back here. He's falling off.
Yeah, we're watching all this happen right now as we see them coming back down to the corner again, and oh boy. And actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, it was Cinnamon that was the champion here. So no doubt, I said Cole Henry put himself in a good spot in the season 3, and oh no, there we go, trouble in the back. Oh, that's all I can say. I can't even. I mean, you can just literally see that starting to come unglued there from those awesome camera shots by Mr. Biggles, Dean Hopton, and we're under yellow flag here. A handful of laps, and we're crashing. Looks like the 6th of Fred Lester, Jacob Reeves in 57, and Timothy Hammond in 69. So look for the 6th, the 59, or the 69 or the 57, and there you got it. Look at this. Oh, no, there's Hammond. Hammond got into Reeves, and that's what happened here. By the way, door banging download, our buddy, the redneck announcer. I find myself, when I'm on the road traveling, queuing up the door banging download and catching up on previous episodes, no doubt. And there you see Hammond getting into Reeves there, and then that kind of, I think
like
Reeves is
the 03 too of Kenneth McCullough there on the high side. I don't know if he got a shot or not, but he got into someone on the outside, turned him down into the middle there.
Yeah, look from another angle here. It does look like
I think that's the 21 that got turned there. I don't know if that's his number. Hard for me to see. No, it wasn't the 21, but Kenneth McCullough did give a shot to an orange car there.
Love the different camera angles to see the replay. There's the 69. There's Tim Hammond, by the way, the one that spun. He got into the passenger side of Reeves. And Kenneth McCullough, and by the way, whatever happened, he rolled on and kept going. So
wasn't that always the way, Wesley? I mean, if you're in an accident, I'm not saying it was Kenneth's fault. You'd have to analyze that about for a half hour. But, if you are the one who caused it, you often go on and everybody else wrecks.
Yeah, that's true. Very sure. Thank you, by the way, to obviously New Edge Logistics. Robert Hill Jr. Is in the obviously running tonight. Dean Gear, always great seeing Dean Gear in here, catching up with him. Ron Martin, Adam Leidy, Daniel Gobble. Thanks, guys. Darren Bruce. Chat box quite lively on this Memorial Day Monday, and we do appreciate it very much. Big Rex always come from the front. Egos are too big. Darren Bruce obviously chiming in there on the most recent comment, and we thank close to 30 people watching. If you don't mind, if you're new to NASRA, hit that subscribe button. You can be able to interact and chat with us as well. And yes, we got beef, and we got beef with Jacob Reeves as well. So we'll take a break. We're back with more from the Clash, Daytona, NASRA 360 Racing Network. So the caution coming out after a multi-truck skirmish off of that fourth turn into the tri-oval entrance, and those drivers either go into the pit lane for service and work, and we get ready now for the one to go. Cole Henriksen now the new man up in front in the number 101 Toyota. Dean Doucette's in the house, Wesley Outland, Biggles, Dean Hopton, and We welcome you back to the NASRA Clash. How about this? Want to talk about some big runners, and I think it's because of pit stops as well. Not going to lie, as we get ready to go back to green, 9 drivers did not pit, Dean, but obviously Cole Hendrickson up 20 spots, Brandon Broadfoot up 24 spots to now be the front row as we'll get ready to come back to green on the backstretch in a moment.
Yeah, these gains are more than likely a reordering of people. So, these numbers may not be correct on actual spots gained, but nonetheless, they're up front, and that's what really matters here.
We'll get ready to get these guys back for the restart. Well, we had beef already. We had the beef accident with the man that always says we got beef, and that was Jacob Reeves. These other guys just trying to kind of hold it together, if you will. We still got a long way to go, man. He's on pit road for services, Jacob Reeves, so maybe a lot more damage on the passenger side from that hit in the Hammond than what we thought. Pace truck is on to the pit lane. Here comes the field. Working back to the line. Here they come. We're back to racing here. All right, guys. 42 to go. Still a long way to go in this one, Dean Doucette.
Yeah, a long way, and your top 9 are the only guys who didn't pit here, so I find that interesting. Everybody from 10th on back, went in, got their fuel and everything, so they're going to be set for the rest of this race. I don't know about these top 9. They're going to need more help with cautions.
Drivers will have to have about a lap or so before they come up to full song in these trucks. Here comes now the 21, Broadfoot thundering on the bottom. Open up the door to the middle lane. Here comes Gregory piling in. Here comes Blanchard right up the middle. The Daytona winner back here in season 3, Brian Chu. Here comes the 51 up the middle, and here comes also Peyton Johnson, coming through.
Man, oh man, there was a couple of points there where I was going to say that's the bad touch right there, not the good touch.
And is that our buddy Jason Morales, our driver analyst for Tuesday night for Xfinity, falling back, free falling in the one machine. Brian Chu up the middle. Looks like Johnson's trying to get something started finally up on the top shelf. He's got a little help now with the 13, a good one up high. And we're going now to 2 by 2 by 2. First 3 rows, stack them up. And then they're 3 wide, multi-groups behind them out of turn number 4.
My goodness, these guys are really pushing. That middle line, that looks like the preferred place and also the dangerous place.
Man, what a save there. And I'm understanding now Peyton Johnson up 21 spots now to the 7th spot on the racetrack. After he just made those pit stops, he's the highest man from making the original pit after the first caution of the race. Here they come, back straightaway. That's the Daytona super stretch. And right now, Blanchard, the 9 on the inside. He wants to get, he's up on the top. He wants to be the man to lead the way. Stars and stripes, red, white, and blue like Santino Ferrucci's Foyt car in the 500. Gregory's red, white, and blue machine to the lead here off of turn 4 at Daytona.
Man, oh man, he's getting lots of help from Broadfoot, but here comes the 9, Chris Blanchard on the outside.
And behind them, they've got help. Obviously, Cole Hendrickson, Brandon Broadfoot, Brian Chu, Hunter Parsons. I mean, it looks like they're at pace car parade lap formation, 2 by 2 by 2 at full song. Gregory down to the bottom, Broadfoot with a shot to the left rear. Gave him a little hit. Holds on to it. 11 of 50 laps. Remember, you got to go here, but you don't want to get taken out in the early going like we saw with that early caution, Dean.
Man, you don't, and that's what you got. You got the difference between a couple of groups, the top 20 or more, and then you got a bunch of single file guys at the back just kind of lingering around.
Boy, the chat box, hopefully you guys come lively because we've had some one caution in the early going. And yeah, Joey Doucette, we got beef. And I'm not talking about what's for dinner. I'm talking about what's on the racetrack. Whoa, little shot there, boy. Hendrickson with a shot from the 51 and Brian Chu to the rear. And that tailgate was skirmish off of turn 2, Dean. What a save.
Wow. And Morris went up to the wall there, got right back in line. Now the 04, he's stuck up on the high side or going on the high side. It's getting crazy.
It surely is. And now they're going to try to go 3 and 4 wide. There goes now the 04. Christopher McCullough from Savannah on the outside lane. Hooks up behind Brian Chu. Chu up against the top of the safer barrier. McCullough checked up. Everyone stacks up behind them. Nowhere to go. And somehow they hold it in line on the outside lane, and we're still 3 wide going to 1 on lap 13.
Man, oh man, these guys are driving their tails off. Saving lives day after day. I think they're firefighters or something.
Boy, what a save. 1 Surf Pro caution after a multi-truck incident involving drivers like Timothy Hammond and Jacob Reeves and some others off of turn 4. But since then, back to the green, and they have been rocking and rolling, obviously. Caution laps do not count. As you see them door to door, Blanchard inside, Hendrickson outside, Gregory and Johnson, and they're still 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Oh yeah, by 2, like virtual Noah leading the animals to the arc back into turn number 1.
Unbelievable. The high side, Peyton Johnson, man, he is determined to get out here and lead this thing. Unbelievable. He did pit too, so he is one of our first pitters, or the first pitter up there. Taylor Peacock making his way up here.
In the inside, here comes Blanchard now. He wants to try to jump up and go to that top spot. Drive me dirty or I'll kick your you-know-what? Is that what it says? Drive me dirty and I'll total your... Yeah, there you go. I got the tone perfectly. I think it's because my allergies are killing me today, so... Oh, I thought it was... I thought you were talking about my tone of saying... So there we go. Yeah, thank you. That's it. It sounds so much better than having the we can't afford the teletype, right? Blanchard on the bottom. Hendrickson, look at Gregory. Oh, there's that pretty lady in the one. Look at that. The woman in the woman in the one. Look at that. Look at these awesome camera angles, Dean. You would never see that unless you had the awesome cameras that that Biggles has.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. I love it, man. The Australian bringing them home for us. I think the down under thing makes them turn those cameras all the way around.
I love it, man. There was one the other night. We were at Bristol, and he was dead on the camera shot from the tailgate of from the roof, showing from the tailgate of the field behind them. And there was a restart, and somebody got stacked up, and that camera angle stayed dead on it with the views of the calamity that went on from behind. But that was Bristol. That's short track racing. We're super speedway racing. And look at now Cole Hendrickson. They call him Hollywood. Johnson on the outside. That's a driver we know from the Tuesday Xfinity Series. Here comes Blanchard back on the bottom. Gregory, Broadfoot. I mean, anybody right now closing in on lap 16, lap machine up in the way. Anybody could win this thing. I can't even kind of pick out who's going to possibly win this thing so far. That's Jacob Reeves who just went a lap down.
Now, you can't pick out a winner, that's for sure. It's way too early for that. But several guys have shown they're going to race up front, and they're going to race up front all night. Blanchard, Hendrickson, Gregory, Broadfoot, Johnson, they've been up here. And Morris, too, he's also pitted. So these guys have been consistently at the front.
And you know, Dean, the thing that's funny about this is a lot of these scramble high in the middle. Look at these guys in the back. That's the 31. That's Brady LaBeouf, by the way. New colors, new number for Brady LaBeouf in 31. Usually he's in the 24.
Hey, sometimes that can flip your whole season, man. You're struggling or something, or a new season, get yourself a new number, maybe a new paint job too.
Season 2 champion right now. Just watched him. Right there's the look at the weather conditions, obviously. Just after 8 p.m. Eastern time, sim time, 80 degrees track temp. Cloudy conditions, obviously, as they work the back straightaway. Yeah, it ain't cloudy and late part of the day. I was thinking to myself yesterday, You know, because, I mean, obviously I was working all weekend as well, but I tried to sneak into a hauler or two, jump into one of the toter trailers, and try to catch up on the race, the Indy 500 especially. And I was thinking to myself, when is somebody going to think of the idea, Dean, of putting lights at Indianapolis?
Well, I think lots of people have thought about
Right.
the idea. They're just waiting for someone to get out there and pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Roger Penske's got the money. 20-time now. Hey, Team Penske, 20-time winner of the Indy 500. But, yeah, I mean, I'm wondering when somebody's going to light up Indy. I wonder what kind of a massive undertaking that would be. They've lit up Daytona and other great places, and I kind of say the same thing about when are they going to light up Talladega. So, yeah, put up the lights and make it happen. So, hey, back to the race at hand, though, as we're closing in on lap number 20. 30 to go, 5 to the halfway mark of the clash, and it is Hendrickson in the lead on the bottom. It is now Johnson on the outside. Here comes Blanchard to follow in tow. And honestly, Dean Doucette, driver analyst, as my color guy, you've run these races many times. This is kind of, I think, the settle down part of the race right here.
Well, it is for some, and for others, they're begging for a caution, so they're trying to push the pace, right? Some of these guys, these 10 drivers or 9 drivers that did not pit, they're in trouble right now. If this thing settles in and goes green, they're cooked, and they know it. So they're going to keep pushing and trying to push this action as hard as they can.
I just honestly believe we're kind of in that cool down mode, if you will, no doubt, because I think we're still going to see some guys have to pit. And will we see this now? Look at up under the tailgate of the leader, the 9 of Blanchard, getting a shot from Gregory. Dean, this is a driver, Dean Gregory, that has really improved for the NASRA brand of last year. I mean, this guy used to not even get out of his own way. Now this dude was so close to being in the championship race.
One down the track, and he's wrecked something.
Whoa.
Off in the middle of it.
That's Peyton Johnson, and there's contact. Barnett around. Mezza's got turned. Newton got a little shot.
Cole Hendrickson, I don't know why he pulled off, and then he couldn't make the turn.
And that'll put us under our second Surf Pro caution, and pardon the pun, actually the Surf Pro truck was involved of Raul Meza. So let's look at the replay here. It looks like I'm trying to find it. Looks like the 42, Steve Barnett. Is that Brady LaBeouf? Oh, that's LaBeouf. LaBeouf into Barnett, into Hendrickson, up the hill they go, and then nowhere to go for these other guys, Dean.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very strange. You had a little incident start to occur, and then you had Hendrickson, who was pulling off the track and couldn't make the corner, and he exasperated that situation. Several cars wrecked, several angry people in the car, but it's the clash. They'll get over it.
So remember, Cole Hendrickson was in that number 4 position on the track, and then he goes to the bottom of the apron. Here's a replay of it. Nice little shot there from Broadfoot. And then Hendrickson shot back up from the apron, back up onto the banking, and nowhere to go into Brady. Brady into Barnett. It's from the rear end of the truck of Hendrickson, and then there you see everyone else stack them up behind. Nowhere to go. Oh, boy. Another multi-truck crash. The 156 also there, caught up in it. Yeah, man. I was going to say the 156 of Jonathan Wiley also involved. So another multi-truck crash here. Everybody's on pit lane. We'll reassess those pit stops, and we're also getting ready to come to halfway here at the Clash. Back with more from Daytona in a moment.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back here at Daytona, and the clash rolls on, and obviously the Taylor Peacock machine leading the way now after these pit stops. Dean Doucette is obviously joining us in the booth. Beagles Dean Hopton as well, doing the production. Well, we're halfway coming up in this event, and I don't want to say that it's not been a good racing, Dean, but it's we've had our share of a couple of multi-truck crashes, but that's been about it.
Well, it's been clash racing or crash racing, right? Guys are going to go for it. It's a win or go home, and it's only going to amp up now. There is no more fuel strategy. Everybody pitted. Everybody's good to go. And anybody, if you're outside of the 15, you're going down the middle. We're going to see 3 wide. We're going to see 4 wide. This is going to get nutty.
Right now, Peacock is now the new leader. Johnson second, Goodwin third. They're up 26 spots as well. Then it's going to be Stephen Gregory, Cody Sanderson, Chris Blanchard, Stephen Thomas, Andrew Harris, Joey Stiers, Justin White now the new top 10 as, again, the lights are off on the pace truck, and we will be coming to the restart, which will be the halfway flags as well, 25 down and 25 to go. Obviously, we've seen, the strategy of getting in line, but maybe if you're too aggressive, and I think I've been watching as well, Dean, that if you hit the left rear or the right rear just right, wrong, I want to say not right, but wrong, if you hit it just wrong, you're going to cause these guys to go around. Obviously, we've seen a little bit of bump drafting cause that.
There's no doubt about it, right? And the art form of super speedway drafting, right, is to get to the bumper without hitting it. There's a lot of hitting going on here. Any hitting that's off center, that car is going to get out of control, and you put in always 2 wide, sometimes 3 wide or 4 wide. There's no margin for error. So any wiggle, they're going to wreck. So, watch it. These guys are going to do some bumping, and I would put my money down. My bingo card has a wreck coming up, and it won't be long.
See, and in my opinion, I think if you're the race director right now, you're telling these guys, okay, look, you're the second half of this race. I know you're going to start getting a lot more aggressive, but you need to try to knock some laps off. Let's get to about lap number 40. Let's at least get a 10-lap green flag run. 35, I'm being nice as we come back to green. But about 10 to go, that's when you hit that go button, Dean. And obviously you've been in these positions before as many times as you've raced on the NASRA circuit.
I'm absolutely with you most often, but this is the clash. There's no points to get. So if you're in 35th position, let's say, Cole Hendrickson, 34th, Detmer in 33rd, they got to go. They got to get some position now. I mean, laps are ticking away. 10 to go, they try and get something going. They're not coming to the front. They may come to 15th, but they want the win. That's all that matters.
Well, the only thing that I'll say to disagree with your point on that is you are at a super speedway where you can draft and you can possibly climb quickly through the field if your truck is handling just right. But like you said, if you're a sitting duck and you try to go with 10 to go, you might be like a boat and not go nowhere at all. It's Peacock now, inside, leader on the bottom, Gregory up top, door to door. Johnson's hung in there all night long. Here comes now a 13. Tyler Goodwin battles Blanchard, and that's door to door off of that second turn.
And these green machines up front, they've been good all night. Peacock and Johnson, they're looking good. And you got Blanchard and Gregory also been working together. Like I said, these guys who've been hanging around the front, they're learning something. They're getting better and better. And now the third line forming up. That's Stephen Thomas up there and with the 6 with them as well.
Loving these awesome camera angles from our producer, Biggles, Dean Hopton, and right now, Drive Me Dirty, and I'll total you know what, I guarantee it. Blanchard's giving a fair warning to everybody from the back of the tailgate, and right now, he is trying to show his strengths up the middle lane, if you will, as Gregory on the outside, 44. That's Thomas, hung out to dry up on the top. And while that goes on, we're still door to door again. And we're going to try to go 3 and 4 wide to get off two.
God, they're wiggling all over the place, from the high line to the low line to the middle line. Someone got shook out on the high side. They're all alone.
A wiggle and a jiggle and a giggle and a bobble. And they still hold it together. Up the hill goes McCullough. And the 14 of Sanderson falling back. He gets hooked up with Chew on the outside. Here comes now those drivers working through the corner, breaking through now. There's that battle. Blanchard now trying to find a way to get back into this hunt. All the while, the green machines stay locked to the bottom. It's Peacock.
Peacock along with Johnson are doing it right, and so is Blanchard, Gregory, and I think that's Blanchard with them in the 9 machine. It is.
It is. And Dean, you're like me. I think for so damn long we've seen Blanchard drive a blue 9, and now all of a sudden he changes his colors, and it's like, who, what, where? And then you see Blanchard, though, being competitive, and now he's just fell back to 10th. The Blanchard's towing and recovery entry. By the way, Blanchard's also sponsors the, of course, NASRA Xfinity Series, and we'll be in action tomorrow night as well. Memorial Day to you and yours. You're seeing a dandy of a virtual good show, the Daytona Clash. Closing in, 20 to go when they come to the line. And look at them, 3 wide for the lean, Dean, in the middle.
Oh, my God. The outside lane just came and put 2 guys down in the inside 2 lines. Now the 03 is coming, and that's Kenneth McCullough. Christopher McCullough's already up on the front of one of these lines. It's unbelievable out here.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, and there's contact. And he goes around in the grass, but he's on the bottom of the flat. Will stay green, the 13, off track of Goodwin. And they still stack him up 3 by 3 by 3 off 4.
Unbelievable stuff. John Mollahan out here leading along with Kenneth McCullough. In a different number. He's showing on 02 on our scoring, but 6 on the car there. He's on the bottom line. David Sheets has made his way up here in the 06 on the outside. They're continuing to race 3 wide. It is absolutely insane up here.
Closing in on under 20 laps to go here at the Clash in Daytona. Just a sample of what it will be for next week. The duels, then the big show on June 10th, Season 4, NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. New leader now, John Mollahan. John Mollahan, he's in the 6th. Timing and scoring has his by the 0-2, but he now shows his strengths to the lead, battling the McCullough family from Savannah, Georgia, as they work to the line, and in 19 to go.
My goodness. We got about 15 cars that are kind of off the lead group right now. They're going to have to battle back, but the main battle up front is heating up. That outside lane, watch it go again. I mean, it keeps coming. It'll form up here momentarily.
Thundering down the backstretch, looking from that camera angle. Look at them jumping from one lane to the bobbing and weaving to the other. You got guys shuffling from the top up at the safer barrier, all the way up in the marbles, down to the inside of the apron. Somehow fighting for every inch around the 31 degrees of banking. Thundering back into the tri-oval. 18 to go at Daytona in the Clash.
Here comes Newton and Thomas on the high side. The big push from Newton. They're right in it. They got cars forming up behind them. That outside lane has been deadly.
Holding it all the while in the 1 and 2, and we're 3 by 3 again. The McCullough family are the monkeys in the middle to the back straightaway.
How about John Mollahan out here leading this thing, man? He's done a great job so far. He's got Christopher McCullough pushing in the inside. They are doing just a phenomenal job.
Ooh, McCullough, the 0-5, a little shot there from the 81. That's Taylor Peacock. Working top, working bottom. The man that won the most regular season races of last year in Season 3 was Peacock. but he couldn't get to the championship battle.
And Mollahan jumped up to the middle lane there trying to block a run, really handed it over to Chris McCullough on the inside, and he's got Peyton Johnson with them. Johnson really pushing, just excellent job, just off the back end.
Holding it together down into the corner. Look at him. Oh, boy. It looks like they're just sandwiching in, and it looks like it's just going to just break apart like you're in a vice. That's the word I'm looking for the lineage, Dean Doucette. It looks like they're in a vice, and they're just getting closer and closer and squeezing, not giving anybody in a room, and eventually it's going to explode as they come thundering through the tri-oval with 15 to go.
Man, if we could get in Chris Blanchard's car, you would see what a vice looks like. It is unbelievable down there. He's sitting right in the middle of his pack, and his contact. There goes the 51, Brian, too.
And there's trouble. And now Gregory slams into wide. He got into the 14 of Sanderson. And I'm telling you, I don't want to say it's a sixth sense or a virtual sense, Dean, but I've done this for so long, dude. You could feel the storm brewing, if you will. It's like you're outside and you're watching the sun become dark and it's getting cloudier, and then you can just feel the tension, if you will. And it literally just happened. You just saw the entire pack right there with one another, and then that one wrong slip, as you mentioned, Dean. And let's go back to the replay, because that's what happened. Honestly, if you go back, Mollahan stacks up everybody behind him, which, I mean, that's hashtag fake news. They're already stacked up like sardines anyway.
It's Justin White with the 14 behind him there. There's a little double.
But watch Mollahan go from the top as the leader to the bottom, and that made McCullough and Johnson and all these other guys, I think, panic for a moment to check up. And then look at this as Chew gets shot down from White. I think he thought he was going to run into the back of Gregory, honestly, and then at the end of the deal, Dean, Gregory gets turned around. Look at this. He got turned anyway by White.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. I think you're probably right. Like, this happens, right? When these guys line switch like that, and there's slight checkups, it's hard to pick up visually, but in the car, when you're in it, you see a little car kind of back up to you. You brake, the guy behind you brakes, and eventually it accordions up. Or like we used to like to say, Corsatina's up.
Oh man, let's go on board, honestly. I would say let's pick probably White, because I mean White was kind of the guy that was right there, the two of Justin
behind him, the 14 of Cody Sanderson.
Yeah, Sanderson would be a good one too, the 14. And it does look like iRacing is calling the caution on Cody Sanderson as the initial start of the accident as well, Ding.
Yeah, I mean, Cody got a little bit into Justin White here. You're going to see it right here as he comes up on Justin White, and he almost lifted him up in the air by the looks of it. I think there's some checking up. Here it comes. And he has a little wiggle there, and he just touches him. I don't think he did a whole lot wrong, to be honest with you. Something else going on in front of those guys that caused all that. It's kind of one of those things, man. They're so hard to call because, you know, you were talking about inches. 1 inch becomes 2 inches. 2 inches becomes 3. And by the time you get to the fifth car, it's a whole foot or two.
My question is this. Hold that thought with 14 to go, and we'll get your answer in a moment. But do you pit? I think right now the answer is no. Track position might be all the while more important, no doubt. We're going to be back after a commercial break to thank our partners for NASRA, DSR. We're back from Daytona to wrap up the clash, or are we just getting ready for more crash?
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email.
13 laps to go. Caution laps, by the way, do count. My apologies here in the NASRA Clash. That's making it fly by quicker. 3 yellow flags of the race so far, and that's presented by Surf Pro, Fire, Water Cleanup, and Restoration. Surf Pro, the official sponsor of the yellow flags here. NASRA Clash, Daytona, and we got our new color guy in the booth with me, driver Dean Doucette. Dean, what's your take of what we've seen so far? Well, a little wilder? What do you think?
I mean, it's been absolutely wild, but it's been the Clash, right? Like we said, there's one thing to do out here, and that's win. Even these guys who are getting torn up, they're a little bit hurt, but not really. They'll get over it. It's not a big deal. The duels are coming up. Those are the bigger races, and then the Daytona 500. Here tonight, it's about winning, and they're going to put it all on the line. It's not going to get any easier from here on in, I'm telling you.
Remember what I said about being in the top 30 and hanging back until 15 to go? Forget all that. It's time to go. And if there's any inclination, you've got to restart where you're going to be stacked up 2 by 2 by 2 to try to help you cut the distance in half instead of being at full speed.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to make some moves. Watch for these guys to try and get to the middle. I'm telling you, at the end, that's where you want to bleed. Believe it or not, you think you're getting squeezed, it's a possible wreck spot, but the middle is usually the winning spot.
Let's set up your top 10 for you as the field to get ready to come back to the Geico restart zone. McCullough family behind Mullahan, the leader. Morris Thomas, top 5. Then it's going to be Johnson, Richards, Peacock, Blanchards, Newtons, and a Partridge and a Pear Tree, and the rest of the virtual Thundering Herd behind them. Down to the line, a dozen laps, the dirty dozen in Daytona. Here they come to the line. Green is out. Mullahan, the McCullough family. They've run some big money races before, and they know how to race one another now with the big boys of NASRA, and they're up in front in turn number 1.
Man, they're already starting to slug at it. You look at them 21st on back, Wesley. Those guys all pitted. We'll see if that helps them as we go forward.
Mullahan, McCullough, they hold it together now down that back straightaway. Remember that back stretch working. Into turn 3. That's 31 degrees of banking, by the way, in the corners here in Daytona. Mullahan stays locked to the apron on the inside. McCullough the follow on the double yellow line. Johnson now, bottom of the racetrack, 11 to go. Oh boy, Mullahan shot up from the bottom to the top, and he stacked the front row behind him. They're still bobbing and weaving and getting sideways, and they're still holding it together going to 1. That could have been disastrous.
Man, I don't know if that was a crazy move.
Oh my!
I'm not sure which.
How in the world did they not get stacked up and tore up from the floor up, and now we got a caution? Yellow flag, and they're wrecking, slamming into the wall. That's Craig Schroeder and some other drivers that have wrecked. The 56 turned in the wrong direction.
Hendrickson was involved there on the high side, the 101.
Oh, man.
They were 4 wide back there.
And I'll be honest with you, again, look for the 56. The 56 of Schroeder is the one we're going to look for. But I'll be honest with you again, Dean, this started up in the front, and then it chain reactions everybody behind them, and there's the end result of what just took place. Look at this on the bottom.
Yeah, that's the end result. They were 4 wide where Hendrickson went to the high side a little bit ahead of this. And this, you're right, it's a chain reaction. There's no doubt about it. Something slowed them up. That gave Hendrickson a big run on the outside, and then they were 4 wide, and that just wasn't going to work.
Dean, as somebody that's raced a long time in NASRA and in super speedways, you're seeing Hendrickson also, is what we're being told from our producers. The 101 also gave us a scare a moment ago. But when you're in race mode, you're seeing Hagan in the wall, the 77 in the wall. Put in a center of other, I believe it's our 5th caution of the race. But when you're in race mode and you see something up in front of you, check up. How much time in the back do you feel like you've got to have so you don't become a part of the incident, if you will?
Well, man, we're talking about Daytona, right? You're going 200 miles an hour. It is not easy. If you were in a car within a foot or two of you, It is extremely difficult. And I'll be honest with you, people hate to hear this, but sometimes you got to keep the throttle up to keep the
wide
car under you.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, you're 4 wide, and then you, just like you said, Dean, you stack them up behind you. There's nowhere for Hendrickson to go.
There's nowhere. I mean, it's just once that checkup happens and you get to 4 wide, it's a death issue, right? It's inevitable, just like death or taxes.
And those go hand in hand. More taxes than death, because when you have death, that's it. Let's see if we can try to grab. Let's see here. Let's see if we can try to grab Brady LaBeouf here real quick. Bring him in our broadcast booth and grab him real quickly. He's running the LA flag. Brady, typical Clash, season 2 champion, and oh my goodness, boy, these guys have. I think we might have need to have another week off. They're daring tonight, aren't they?
No, man, that's what happens when you get them 2 weeks off. They all come back and they're all want to know what's going on, man. What's the problem?
Very good one.
New number, man.
No, I ran Friday night at Bristol and ran Murph's Magical Creation sponsorship for Huck Wigginton, and I'm flying out to Nashville tomorrow, so I've been busy all day, and I just forgot to load in my right paint. But I'll be in the right paint scheme next week.
But I do know that Murph's Magical Creations is very grateful for that, right? I mean, yeah.
Oh, hey, I mean, it's an extra race for them to get some TV time, right?
And am I understanding? I've been out of town all weekend working, but do I understand also that there's going to be a Murph's Magical Creations race sponsor? Was it going to be Daytona? I think is that it?
It's going to be one of the crown jewel races later in the season, but you're on the right track.
Okay, well, cool. I mean, guys, if you're out there and you might have a business and you want to do some promotion, hell, look at Jacob. He done the door banging download race for Bristol last week. All right, final question, Brady. We'll let you go. I know you're a busy man on pit road. For season 2 champion, the man behind NASRA, along with Cody Knott. A lot of new changes this year. New race directors, new officials, new operators, and man, suffice to say, here at the Clash and. New drivers, new talents on the roster.
Yeah, I mean it's exciting. You know, every season we go into it wanting to be better than the last season. So our goal is to be better than last season, even though it's going to be hard to kind of duplicate it because it was so successful. But that's the goal, right? That's the goal. I had a little pep talk with everybody 30 minutes before this race. So hopefully we can exceed expectations as last season.
All right. Well, Brady, Dean, you got anything else? I think we're coming to green.
I think we're all good, man. Excited for the season, Brady. I hope the duels treat you a little better, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate it, guys, and thank y'all for coming out tonight. I look forward to listening to you, Wesley, and even Dean for a little Dean Hopkins, that's it. Biggles. We got to call him Biggles. But I look forward to listening to you guys on the broadcast this season. Thank you, guys.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. My allergies suck tonight. I've been on the road up in the Northeast for the last 3 days, Pennsylvania and Maryland. And I don't know, it's something with the weather, but my allergies has been killing me all weekend. But we're definitely doing our best. And Dean, the Canadian, is doing a phenomenal job. We're having fun, no doubt. I've been looking forward to working with him.
I'm not too sure about that even Dean comment. I don't know about that one.
Well, it sounds like you guys are having fun, so just buckle up because it's going to be a long 29 weeks.
It is. Thank you, Brady. Mission 1 Esports, and obviously the Season 2 champion. You were saying, Dean, as we come back to green.
Sorry. There's a couple of guys up here that we're not talking much about. Ron Morris Jr.'s up here. Robbie Richards made his way into the top 10, too. A couple of guys.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely watch them. These are the guys that have been silent, if you will, now ready to show their strengths. And McCullough and Malahan on the front row, green flag back out. Daytona, 7 to go. And this is when I think it's going to start to get crazy. And you got to remember, too, Dean, we got 3 overtime attempts in the balance if we need to use it as well if they don't take the white flag in time.
We might need all 3 of them tonight, folks, so hold on to your hats. 7 to go here. Christopher McCullough out front.
McCullough has been making noise all night long, ready to make that continued, and 3 wide. 3 by 3 by 3, like a hot dog flying out of the bun, goes McCullough and Mollahan. It sounds like a law firm, but that's the McCullough family trying to sneak back after the top. Oh my God, he got sideways and he got turned, and they're crashing again. Thomas is wrecked. The big one is just broke apart. It's exploded off turn 4. Johnson got crashed again. So did the 13. Oh, no.
Got killed to the inside wall. What I want you to focus on, though, is that high line previous to the wreck. They were hitting each other. The first 4 cars on the very high line were banging on each other. It was a matter of time before this happened.
Oh, boy. The field just imploded. Oh, my.
Green Hornets were looking good up there, and they end up first and second there. Peyton Johnson, Taylor Peacock.
Multiple drivers involved, and the cliche that you know called the big one has happened here at the crash. I'm sorry, the clash. Drivers involved, including, Tyler Goodwin, Jason Morales, Brandon Bullock, Bo Tiffany, Jeffrey Johnson, Tyler Dittmer, Robert Richards, Jeffrey Johnson. I think I said that all name already. Phil Pappas, Stephen Thomas, Brandon Bullock, all involved in the big one that just happened here off turn 4. Wow. And again, I say this again, Dean, it started from up at the front row. Look at what happened.
It did. The front row's been crazy all night long, and that's exactly, you're right. These checkups are starting this chain reaction.
Oh, look. So if the production truck can rewind again, by the way, the 44 is, go to where the leader is, because the 44 is Stephen Thomas. But go to where the truck in the lead drops below the apron. And he got lucky again. He started this accident, but he didn't get caught up in the accident, if you will, Dean. But set it up for us, man. I kind of just told you kind of what went down here.
Well, I don't think it was his fault, right? You see the push, and you see the car behind here getting off center, and he's getting shots, and he gets turned down to the bottom. He has to go down there to try and save the car.
We got to speed it up a little bit.
By himself or anything.
This is in full speed, Dean. Okay, it looks like we're coming up on it now.
You see the wiggling. They're jumping all over the place. The high line's going crazy.
Oh.
And now they're offline, and the middle car comes down and hits the 03. That takes him down to the bottom, and now he's in survival mode, trying to hang on at 200 mile an hour.
And you know...
Oh, there goes the 03. That was not the 03.
Dean, you know who that was? That was Ron Morris Jr., the guy you just referred to. The 05, and then he got tagged in the back again, and he still saved it. Look at this. That was the 05 of Ron Morris Jr. from Columbia. Watch this. That's Mollahan's left rear, the man in the middle lane to the right. Watch this right here. This is Mollahan in 6th. But actually, to be honest with you, the 81 is the guilty verdict. Taylor Peacock calls this accident. I'm not saying it's intentional, Dean.
No, it started before all of this. That top row was...
Oh, wow, yeah.
They're bumping on each other. You go a little further back and zoom in. They're clubbing each other on that high side over and over again. It was a matter of time before someone got turned down. You see there, checking up and banging. They're going to do it again. There'll be 2 or 3 bangs coming up.
That's Newton behind the back of Peacock. Peacock is behind the back of Johnson. Johnson is up high up in the outside lane. And then you see this where it all implodes right here. Johnson's the man trying to fight McCullough for the lead. Peacock came down on the passenger side of the middle truck of Mollahan. Mollahan then had to make a move to the bottom, got into Morris, and put it in real time. We are scattered, smothered, covered virtually with a big wreck off of turn 4. There's your virtual crash omelet.
Oh, man, I don't want to eat one of those.
Oh.
Jeffrey Johnson hits pit road. You're getting a little more repair work done.
I mean, can you believe it?
Yeah, take a breath, man. Get ready, because it's 4 to go. We're in green-white checker mode now.
I'm telling you, bro. And we are are we still on the regular scheduled distance? We are. We are still on the regular scheduled distance of the race. Here's the schedule coming up, by the way. It all starts tonight with the Clash Memorial Day. I don't like to say the word happy because it's not a happy time. It's a pause and reflection moment for Memorial Day. And but this is June 10th. This is when the official points schedules begin. But remember, Dean, we're back here again. Canada and USA next Monday night for the duels.
We got 2 more weeks of this madness. It's going to heat up. Another guy I want to highlight. I'm a little scared with the boot jinx thing, but Andrew Harris in the 97 or 87, sorry, he's made his way up to 6 here. So he put himself in position here along with Joey Stairs.
Every time, don't worry, it's the announcer jinx, okay? I say it because you mentioned Ron Morris, by the way. Big props to Ron Morris, as you mentioned, holding his spot, holding his line, even though all that chaos and mayhem happened around him, and we now get ready to settle us back for the restart. We are in the regular schedule distance still. There is still a chance at a triple overtime. This is still lap 47. 3 laps to go here. Is now going to be the race for the finish in Daytona. To the green. Johnson brings him to speed. Mollahan back to the top. Here comes McCullough. Peacock right back in the bottom to the inside, and Newton will follow into 1.
Yeah, 5 cars kind of broke away here. This is bad news. It might be bad news for them because a big run's going to come here. We're going to come down to 2 to go, and that outside lane's going to be absolutely flying.
Hold your line. That's all you got to do. Now they're door to door, stacked up 2 by 2. 6 trucks pulling away in a blanket. Throw a blanket over him is what I meant to say. Coming to the line. 2 remaining. These guys fighting it out for the win is the 87. Where did he come from? That's the driver, obviously, of Andrew Harris in the battle. Door to door. They're side by side.
Oh, and they
comes a caution. Oh, no, there's a caution.
Nope. Stephen Thomas is involved.
Stephen Thomas has crashed, so has also been Tyler Goodwin. Again, Dane Hagen, Cole Henriksen also with problems. And Stephen Gregory, caution back out, another multi-truck kerfluffle here at Daytona, and this will now set us up for overtime.
39 and the 13 got a wiggling, a bumping, and a bang, and the 44 involved as well.
That's the 44, Thomas. As our Canadian friend said, a wiggle, a bump, and a bang, and a shebang, and there you go. And look at this. Sanderson's got all this going on behind him. That might be a perfect angle from the tailgate of the 14. Hagen up top. McCullough is the man in the middle. The 44 of Thomas. By the way, he's changed his number and his truck colors as well. Full speed. Let's go. Oh, man.
These guys, I mean, from this view, you can see the thing in there. They do it twice. It's like a rebound action.
Oh, boy.
I tell you, these guys hated to see it up front, too, because up front, they were alone, man. I mean, there was 6 cars getting away. This is a little further back here.
You know what we need to do, Dean? We need to go back to a replay of that and then put in remember the little cartoons back in the day of the superheroes? Pow, bang, splat, splash, boom. Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Well, I've always had a pinball gun on the top of my car that I can shoot at people.
Oh, man. Oh.
Let's get the modders on that.
Boy, oh, boy. And guys, and don't go nowhere. We're going to overtime now. We got beef. Joey, you said we got beef, but we got a lot of beef.
How about Mollahan, though? Back out front. He's been up here all night. Peyton Johnson as well. Christopher McCullough, Taylor Peacock. Andrew Harris is the newcomer. Him and Newton, the Bulldog, as you call him, showing himself in the top 5.
Sure is, man.
I guess.
Oh, boy. Thank you, Cody Knott. One of the men behind NASRA says, good show so far, gentlemen. Dean Doucette, our driver, color analyst, our buddy out of Canada. I'm Wesley Outland. Big ol' Dean hopped in. We're going to go to break. We got overtime. I call it free racing. Daytona, the Clash rolls on. Oh boy, and we're not done yet. Memorial Day and the NASRA Clash rolls on. Welcome back to our coverage.
You on the IV there, Wesley? Sounds like you're hooked up to a drip right now.
Dude, it has been a long weekend. I'm not going to lie to you. Besides having to announce and travel all over the country, let's see, I was in the Carolinas this past weekend for Memorial Day. I was in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia. And then drove back. Got in about 4 o'clock this morning. Anybody that works in the racetrack real world knows you hardly get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, if that. Wake up, go to the next one. Wake up, go to the next one. And in addition to that, dude, I think it's just the changing of the weather. Obviously, I will say that, but also just the different locations geographically. It messes up my allergies. So if you think I need an IV,
now I feel bad for you. What I was trying to say is this race, man, it takes the air out of you. This is
I already had the damn air out of me to begin with. So I mean, I was like, I got a message. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got a message from Dean Hopton, and I'm laying in bed. I literally climbed out of the bed probably 30 minutes to go in live because I've rested all day. And it said something about, hey, we're starting earlier. Can you come earlier? I'm like, oh, my God, I got to splash my face. About 20 minutes before that I planned to. So it's all good, though. But, no, listen, we've been treated, we've been entitled to a fantastic race tonight, no doubt.
We have. And, I'm going to go out on a limb here and take one of these green Hornets on the high side because, these two guys, they've been working together all night and they haven't wrecked each other yet, which seems to be key. So, I mean, if we're picking drivers, I know we're not, but I like these two green cars up here.
Take your pick, no doubt. John Mollahan, the chat box is speaking bravely about the McCullough family. I mentioned earlier the guys like Ron Morris and the McCulloughs, John Mollahan. These guys race with one another on a lot of the big McCullough Motorsports big money shows I've had the privilege to call. And they do really well on the super speedways, Daytona, Talladega. And I know a lot of people, I'm a fan, Dean, of this type of racing because this is the type of excitement that it provides. Getting ready now to go to free racing. It is overtime here for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series for the NASRA Clash. Here's some of the rules. The leader has to take the Darren's nail gun repair one to go. If they do not, we re-rack them, restack them, 2 more attempts. If we get a caution before the white, we do go back to overtime. On the 3rd attempt, if we cannot get the finish in, race is considered called by time of caution for the race finish order. Now, they take the white flag at any time. It's fair game, Dean Doucette. You've been in these situations before. Overtime, Daytona at the Clash.
Major checkups all across the board. They survive, man, but they get her going. Here we go.
Back on the front stretch, climbing the 31 degrees of banking. John Mollahan up on the lead. Johnson outside. Will anybody go up to the top shelf for Grandma hides her dentures from Grandpa? Here they come off 2.
You had Morales up there peeking, but he had to get back in line. Look for him to go back up. Newton gives the Hornets a push here. Peyton Johnson and Taylor Peacock.
Staying in line, gotta fight their way into the corner. Johnson, Mollahan, McCullough's now right there. And they're crashing. Johnson, Peacock. Oh, what a hit. I don't know what to say. They didn't get to the white flag. We got to overtime.
And I want to go back to the booth jinxing instead of the announcer jinx because I want to throw Dean under the bus as well, But yeah, the high side there wasn't good. Too much pushing, too much banging.
Hey guys, can we go back? There was literally, can we go to the leader? Honestly, there was an accident before that big crash that we just saw. I just saw 3 cautions at one time. Let's go to the leader, Mollahan, and let's go from the rear end of the 6, from the tailgate. Look in the back here. Dean, look in the back. Look in the back.
Crazy. There goes McCullough up to the top. Newton's up there. Peacock. Looks like Peyton Johnson all get tangled up on the high side there.
And that's the ones behind the leaders. Rewind again if you don't mind, Biggles. Rewind here, guys, and watch all the way from turn 3 and 4 in the diamond of the corner, Dean. Look at this right here, coming off the backstretch, and even before the front leaders crashed. Look at this, Dean, right here. Look at that little bump there.
They're crazy. There's
Oh,
bumps
no.
everywhere.
Is that the one? It is Morales, Jason Morales. And look at this. Daytona winner of last year, Brian Chu's having a bad night in the clash in the 51. Look at this again.
Unbelievable. Turn
And,
right down.
and Dean, this happened in the back. This was not the crash that happened up in the front.
Now, this is green-white checkered action here at the Clash, right? Nobody's going to give, not even for 20 seconds, not even for 30 seconds. They're going to go for it.
And then you look up ahead, and Johnson and Peacock and the other drivers, if you don't mind, Mr. Engineer, Production Man, go to the front now. And you can literally see behind the sixth. That's when all hell broke loose. That's what we caught. And then I look at a glimpse, and you can just, this is what we would call in the real racing world a secondary caution. This is 2 or 3 kerfluffles happen all at one time. Oh, my goodness.
Carnage is heavy here tonight, but it's Mullahan still out front. Unbelievable. Harrison second, Blanchard third.
Dean, we might need to proposition to NASRA that from now on we don't call this the Clash anymore. We call this the Crash.
I like it. I mean, that's what it is, right? Guys are going to go for it. They don't care at this point. They're like, if we're not going to win, you're not going to win.
Oh, boy.
Listen, man, there's some guys creeping up here, though. How about Colin Weatherholt here? Haven't called his name tonight. He's sitting in 6th. You got Lester up in 9th.
I like this truck. Colin Weatherholt from Monticello, Indiana, right there. Fred Lester. How about Fred? Go Tar Heels. Got the Tar Heel colors on the truck. He's normally in orange and black. I love the new colors. I love the new numbers. I feel like it's Speed Weeks at Daytona for silly season, honestly. And Dean, you've got to just pick what new drivers and car numbers and changes that these guys have had on their machines for sure. It's like coming back from the winter break.
Oh, man, it is. It's exciting, right? New season and everything. You want a fresh paint? Probably got a haircut, too. Who knows?
Oh, boy. Well, so let's see here. We are not – can we try to bring in somebody? Let's bring in Mullahan. I think maybe Mullahan. Let's see. Can we get Mullahan in here? Oh, boy. Or somebody from the McCullough family.
Yeah, the McCullough is still fighting. Kenneth up there in 12th.
I'll grab John real quick. John, you're up in front. It's been chaos, dude. How are you going to win this thing?
Oh, man, I'm really not sure now. I don't have any teammates up here, but we're going to do our best.
I was bragging about saying that I've called other races where you guys have all ran together. What's your take of the NASRA world so far tonight?
Man, I like these guys. They're very aggressive. They don't take any BS, and they'll run you clean, so I like it.
All right, man. Dean, Canadian, you got anything for Mullahan before we go back to green?
I just want to wish you luck, man. Hang in there. You're doing a whale of a job. Go get you one.
Let's get them, boys. I'll see you after the race.
Oh, boy, John Mullahan. I haven't heard that voice. It's probably the Christmas Talladega race. I think we did the American 500. So we're ready to see what he can do here in McCullough Motorsports being represented proudly. All right, so overtime 1 did not work. We're going to go for a second time. You were saying, Dean.
Well, that brings up a thing. You said, your memory there. I was thinking race car drivers got long memories here. These wrecks, and nobody's going to forget them. And we talked about it earlier. You want to make a name for yourself. It's these guys we were mentioning here right before, Fred Lester, Colin Weatherholt, and that. They've been quiet. Nobody's called their name. That's a good thing. They've got a good rep so far. Let's see if they can hang on to it.
Oh, boy. Chat, thank you, Fred Lester. He's happy I was bragging about him, talking about his truck. Hell yeah, man. Darren Bruce, obviously in the 14. Robert Miller, everybody is enjoying the clash here to now hopefully finish and not have another crash. Pardon the pun. Ready to go back to green. Overtime. Dos at Daytona.
Man, you can't put a credit card between these cars. Blanchard up in Mullahan.
Oh, boy, that's kind of the worst Spanish ever, right? Let's try it one more time. Mullahan inside. Look at Blanchard. Where the hell did the 9 come from? He was up earlier, played possum, fell to the back. Now they're slicing and dicing. Process of elimination, and right now they hold it together going to 3. Got to get to the white flag, Dean.
Tiffany down there on the inside is really helping that inside lane. On the outside, the 87, Andrew Harris, needs a little more help. Only 2 cars there. They're getting down to it.
Oh, Tiffany from Graham, North Carolina, originally from Corning, New York, fights to the lead on the outside lane. Can they get to the white flag? They will. 1 to go. Fair game. It's on. Darren Snell gun repair. Mullahan, Harris, final time into turn number 1.
Oh my goodness, watch out now. Here we go. Someone's going to throw it down the middle here. Contact.
Oh, Tiffany in the 53. Right now, closing in there. Where do you want to make your run right now? Or you want to be up in the front? Are you a sit and duck if you're the leader? Look at Blanchard going high, low, he's sideways. Oh, he got turned and clipped. Blanchard's still crashing once again. Lester got tore up. Here. Oh, the leader now is the 87, Andrew Harris to the bottom. Here comes now Joey Stiers to the bottom to fight back. They're slamming in the wall. McCullough's in the wall. Mullahan up the middle. They're slamming off one another. It's going to be Joey Stiers to win.
Joey Stiers comes through there. Unbelievable.
The Mean Green Machine wins the Clash in Daytona. Slamming, bamming, thank you, mammon. Somehow, Mullahan could not fight up the middle, and the 23 was able to go to the line. Joey Stiers is the winner of the NASRA Clash here at Daytona this evening. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I don't think we got enough replays to show all the crap that was going on there. That was insanity. What a race.
Somehow, we've got to find a way, though, Mr. Engineer, Biggles, Dean Hopton, producer, to show it. Let's go to the last lap. And honestly, driver, analyst, color guy, Dean Doucette, pleasure. I'm looking forward to working with you this year. You got a Canadian and an American putting our energy together, and it's just crazy. They're coming to the white flag, my friend. I'm going to let you take it. Paint a picture for us here. What's going right? What's going wrong? What did somebody do here to win this race?
They're pushing too hard. They're banging on each other, right? And you're going to see it right here. There's going to be a couple little bangs. They're going to get off center. That's going to make these cars wiggle back and forth. Once they start wiggling, you can't hang on to it. There it is. There was a bang from Tiffany there, I believe. There's another little hit. Tiffany gets loose a little bit. The outside is off center. Everybody's kind of jiggling around. They haven't even started wrecking yet.
Dean, you see Stiers is in 5th. He is in the 5th position when all this happened. And look at the bonsai move Stiers made to shoot to the outside to miss Blanchard, that it looked like Blanchard was going to come up the racetrack. Instead, the racing gods were in his favor, and he went to the bottom.
Yeah, at this point, the High Line, though, they're just loving this. They're like, oh, good, we got the run. We're all alone. Stiers goes to the bottom. What a move that was. Little door slam there. Until all wrecking behind him.
And then until the Steves parted, Mullahan slamming off the 87, and he just can't stop Stiers. Wow.
He just tried so hard there, man.
I mean, I got to give props to the 87, Andrew Harris. He told Mullahan, I'm not backing down. You're going to have to fight me for this spot. And Mullahan banging off one another. Mullahan banging off the side of the left rear of the 87. And while that went on, Joey Stiers just said, I'm going to stay to the bottom. I'm going to stay out of you guys' way. And he wins it. Man, what a way to start season 4 for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. The NASRA Crash Clash is over. It took double overtime to get it done on this Memorial Day 2024. Joey Stiers is the winner, and Andrew Harris will finish in 2nd. John Mullahan will finish 3rd. Look at this camera angle, by the way. Look at these awesome images from Dean Doucette. from Biggles, Dean Hopton. I mean to say, I've got too many Deans in the booth. Yeah, but Dean from Dean. Look at that camera angle. Look at how close that could have been right there. Mollahan will settle for third. Hey, Weatherholt, you mentioned his name. Solid top 5. Ron Morris Jr. as well. The McCullough family got a top 10. He's in 6. Kenneth, David Sheets, Craig Schroeder, who got involved in an accident earlier, puts the Scooters Racing entry in the top 10. Jonathan Wiley, Robert Richards, top 10. Fred Lester, Jason Morales, Peyton Johnson, Tyler Dittmer, Brian Chu, top 15. Sanderson Parsons and Bo Tiffany. Remember that name. Bo Tiffany, Dean Doucette, was up in the top 5. He finishes in 18th when this race ended.
So many names. I mean, you look back in 22nd, Blanchard, right? Christopher McCullough back in 25th, Newton 26th. These guys were all in the thick of it trying to win this thing, and that's their finish. That's what they get for it. That's the Clash, baby. Or is it Crash?
I call it the NASRA Crash Clash. I think that's what I'm going to tell them to call it from now on. But it was highly entertaining. It looks like our audience in the chat box is saying, hell yeah, let's go Steyrs. Way to go. Good show. Awesome race. Awesome call of the finish. Awesome broadcast. Thank you, Darren Bruce. Thank you, Cody Knott. Everybody, we hope you've enjoyed it. And coming up, the NRE Power Systems post-race wrap-up. And looks like, if you don't mind, show us, there you see the rest of the finishing order here. Take a peek at your drivers, obviously. You mentioned 22nd, Bullock. Robert Hill Jr., I've said it before, every time Robert Hill's on track, he doesn't do well. Stay in the booth, my friend. That's why I don't race. He'll finish 23rd. McCullough, Newton, top 25. Peacock, obviously, at one time up in the back. He finishes 27th. Jacob Reeves, we got beef. I'm going to be ecstatic, if you will, Dean Doucette, to hear the next episode of the Door Banging Download, because I got a feeling Jacob's got some things to say in regards to the subject.
Well, man, what a name, right? That's the right name for that broadcast this week. It's going to be incredible because there's door banging going on. I mean, that end with Mollahan at the end, man, he just banged it off the 87's door and tried, and give him credit, it's near the line. Oh, thrilling race, man.
So we're going to take a break because we got to reset as well, man. I thought I was going to have an aneurysm up in the booth calling the finish of this thing. No doubt about it. It was an exciting one, and Joey Steyrs picking up the win. Hey, coming up, the NRE Power Systems post-race wrap-up. We'll talk to Steyrs, Harris, Mollahan. Sounds like a law firm. It's the podium here for the Clash at Daytona. Don't go anywhere. We hear their thoughts of this race next.
Hey folks, Redneck announcer Jake Reeves here for Premier Racing Setups. Need a Premier Racing Setup? Then visit PremierRacingSetups.com. And when you use the code NASRA, you will get 15% off your entire order. And also 15% will be donated back into the North America Sim Racing Association. That is code NASRA, NASRA, folks. Write that one down, NASRA. And you will get that 15% off your entire order. And also, if you want to race the setups that the Redneck Announcer races, go check them out. That is PremierRacingSetups.com.
Oh boy, NRE Power Systems post-race interviews on deck here now and ready to roll. You see still Joey Steyrs celebrating the man from the land of Lincoln, Mackinac, Illinois, the Green Mean Machine. Oh, the spoiler. Joey, you played possum most of the race. I say that in no disrespect, but when it was said and done, man, when did you know you had to punch the go button and get that machine to the front? Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. It was probably about 15 to go, and I was really like, all right, it's go time. These guys are racing real aggressively up front. I did play possum most of the race and kind of roding around in the back, just anticipating these big wrecks. And I had a few close calls and drove through the grass on that I think it was the second to last caution. And I thought I got some damage on my truck because those guys just took off from me on that first green white checkered, and I thought I didn't have anything for them. But on that last one, I figured I'd just ride right behind Andrew and push him, and I didn't feel like I'd have a chance to maybe take the lead. And somehow that bottom got disconnected there on the last lap going down the backstretch, and I had a run on him, and I thought, well, this is the only chance I'm going to get at winning this race. So I took it, and man, all the cards just fell in my lap today. I couldn't believe it. These things are so hard to come by. There's a lot of new talent that's joined this league, and it's going to be a crazy season, but we're definitely starting it on the right foot here, winning at Daytona here in the Clash.
Joey, you look back a little further, not much. I mean, on the last lap there, you had Blanchard getting wiggly there. He probably got hit, come up, and he almost hit you. Did that send you for a little fright there? Did you think you were getting sent to the wall?
Yeah, my back end was a little puckered up, if you know what I mean there, because I felt like everyone was just going to come up the track and kind of pinch me into the wall, but you're just gripping the steering wheel so tight and kind of praying, hoping nobody comes up in you. And luckily, we didn't have any contact there. But once I got below Andrew, I kind of hit the apron a little bit, came back up. We made a little contact, and then coming to the start-finish line, John was actually going to make a move to my outside, and I just kind of rode the apron, hoping I'd be all right down there. And he actually clipped me just a little bit, and I thought I was getting hooked into the wall there coming to the checker. And luckily, we're able to just bounce off and keep coming. But yeah, whenever you get kind of see somebody get loose or kind of wiggle around and they're coming towards you, you kind of just kind of tense up, pucker up, and kind of hope for the best. And that's exactly what I did going down the backstretch there.
Joey, do you feel like we need a proposition to Brady and Cody to change this name to the Crash instead of the Clash? Because it's more of a crash race for the bragging rights of winning this event. And oh boy, I mean, I say this jokingly, but in all seriousness, dude, you were back in 5th and 6th. We're looking at some of the highlights of the double overtime finish, and you're hanging on the outside lanes. Did you feel the outside was the better place to be until you got to the bottom, or was the intention get away from the top and get to the inside, but get to the front as fast as you could?
So for some reason, throughout the whole race, every time I ran that bottom line, the bottom line would just check up. So I feel like the top line was definitely faster, and I was kind of blessed to be on the outside, and I knew that there'd probably be more people on the outside trying to get around the guys on the bottom, either it being 3 wide or what, but fortunately it never got to that point. But I feel like the outside was definitely the way to go, and it definitely prevailed. I don't know why, but that bottom lane just always checks up in the front, and if you're in the back there, you have nowhere to go and just lose all your momentum. So we chose the right line there.
The Green Mean Machine. Thank your sponsors, buddy. Joey Stires, winner of the Clash.
Yeah, I want to thank Dan Gobble and Jeff Sickles and everybody over at DSR Electric and my new racing team, Chrome Racing, switching over from swim from last year. So really excited to see where this Chrome team takes us here, and we're starting the season off great, and all my teammates here, and definitely thinking of our sister team, Sick With It Motorsports, and everybody over at Millie's Restaurant and Catering, A's Lawn and Landscaping, Jersey Smoke Shops, The Family Handyman, Darren's Nail Gun Repair, Ladanco LLC, Toyota, you guys in the NASRA 360 Racing Network for putting on these broadcasts for us. You guys' work is a thankless job, but we really appreciate what you guys do week in and week out, bringing us all the scoops, all the late race breaking news we get and everything, and love going back and watching those races. And thank you guys, and we'll see you next week at the duels.
Real quick there, Joey.
Toyota.
Let me cut in.
Go ahead.
Real quick there, Joey, because I'm just looking about that replay. The battle for P2 and P3 were the ones that saved you, really, the other day. They came together. They had a little bit of a tangle there, so the Green Machine got the job done for the 23 machine there. Congratulations, Joey.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
The Goblin, the Green Machine, the Green Goblin spoils the party when it's all said and done. What a way to start season 4 here at the NRE Power Systems post-race wrap-up. And the Mackinac, Illinois driver, Toyota, Joey Stires wins for Chrome Racing. That is, of course, an affiliation with Swim, but they have, I don't want to say that the Swim and Chrome are enemies by no means of the imagination. It's just a new program that they built off of that great program under Jeff Sickles. All right, Andrew Harris. 66 Racing. Where did you come from? And your take of the NASRA Clash tonight. Second place, sir.
Well, this is awesome. This is the first time I ran with you guys, obviously. I was actually brought here because of you guys. I watched the broadcast, and Jose Castellanos told me to watch it. So you guys, I watched this, and I was like, yeah, it's better than the one I'm doing, so I'm going to do that. This is crazy. That was the most aggressive racing I've probably been a part of in a long time, but I absolutely loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, you gotta love it, right? When you come in second, you grab yourself 4 playoff points. There's nothing but love out there, except for the end. You know, you're on the outside. You're coming up there. You got a shot at it, but the guys behind you kind of wreck, and it kind of kills your momentum. What were you thinking? And then, you know, you had Monahan kind of send it in there and door bang you too. You had to be holding your breath there as well.
Yeah, like I said, that ending was crazy. Being up front on the outside line, I was trying to watch Joey behind me. If he made a little move to the left, right, I try to match it. Being up front, though, you're pretty much just you're out there to dry, I guess. I'm just glad that I came up second and I didn't end up just falling all the way back to fifth or something and wrecking. I don't know if you guys could see my inside camera coming to the checkered flag. I was sawing at the wheel.
Andrew, gotta ask you, dude, what's it like running with these new personalities, obviously? And you said that it was probably the most hectic, nervous you've ever been in an iRacing deal. And I say this always in all seriousness. I know this isn't the real thing, but my goodness, damn it, it's the close thing to a real ride virtually you can experience in the simulator, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Running with, I've never ran with any of these guys except for a handful of guys, Bo Tiffany, Raul Meza, that I've ran with in my other leagues that I've been in. But I don't know anybody, so there's obviously not a lot of help or anything like that as far as like, hey, I know this guy's a good pusher or whatnot. Got to thank my teammates, though. They were awesome. They helped me through the whole thing. I guess I'm on Misfits, but they moved me up to up front for this race.
Well, buddy, congratulations, man. I look forward to seeing what you can do this season as well. One of those new talents and breaking through very quickly from McPherson. Where is McPherson at, Andrew? Where are you from?
It's in Kansas.
Ah, all right. Well, you're not in Kansas. Okay. Kansas, McPherson, Kansas, the home of Toto. Andrew Harris. I was about to say you're not in Kansas anymore. Virtually, you weren't at Daytona. And Andrew Harris will finish in the second position. There you see that number 87 up on the high side. Look at this again, the finish of the race. Sayers and Harris so darn close to winning this thing. I don't want to break out of post-race mode, but I'm getting excited, Dean, just watching it all over again.
I mean, it's incredible, right? These guys, he said it, aggressive racing. It's the Clash. This is what they do, and it's a lot of fun when you survive, right? You gotta look at this.
Look at this. Oh, wow. Look at it. Look at the guy on the steering wheel. Virtual Andrew's just fighting and clawing and knocking the wheel back and forth, dude.
I tried to turn mine, Wesley.
Do what now, Dean?
I tried to turn my wheel when I was watching it.
Oh, wow. I don't have a steering wheel. I was pantomiming, though. I can tell you that much. Let's go to John Mollahan. He'll finish third. You just saw the highlights of the finish. He was the guy that was in the middle in that number 6 machine. And from Cross Lanes, West Virginia, John, oh, my goodness, brother. Oh, man. Take us for a ride here. We've seen the camera angles. We got the white flag we got the white flag Flavin. I know Flavor Flav was at Indy with Will Power yesterday. The white flag waving, and you were leading this race, man. Your take of finishing third in your first NASRA Clash.
I don't believe he's here, Wesley, but I'll take it for him, man.
John Mollahan leave?
Well, I don't see him in here. So, I mean, Monahan, he had this in the bag for most of the night, but his mate behind him, the 9 of Blanchard, wrecked along with Bo Tiffany. That killed his chances. I mean, it was unfortunate. A great race for him, though.
I could have sworn we had John Mollahan. I pulled him up. John Mollahan, we need you now. You're being called for post-race. Oh, man. I thought we had him in here. Yeah. I wonder if he got dropped or kicked or whatnot. So, but anyhow,
I believe he said he needed to go use the restroom.
Oh, well, tell him. Yeah, go. Well, listen. Go tell him to take a potty break. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back with Mollahan. Stay with us.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations. Made with love.
So we're back here at Daytona. John Mollahan understanding instead of had to do number one, had to do number two. So unfortunately, he will finish third when this race is over. A lot of 1, 2, 3s in that sentence, but we wanted to grab John Mollahan. After a moment like that, you might need to go do it. First you say it, then you do it, Dean.
Well, he might have done it on the track watching this replay, right? That might be a cleanup in aisle 4 instead of an actual go number 2.
And he's in the grass. Look at this. He's in the grass, and he still fought his way to finish in the third spot. So look at this one more time, guys. A little joke. No, listen, jokingly with my buddy John Mollahan. Man, I've called some of his races before with McCullough and the Big E Sports, and man, look at this battle. I'm going to tell you guys something as we're going to wrap it up here from the Clash and get you ready for the duels next week. You know what? And here's the great thing about this, Dean Doucette. You've got now twin races of this caliber. Okay, you'll cut the field in half, but you've got twin races of this caliber next Monday night.
You do, and the meaning isn't that much either, so it's going to be similar to this, right? It's going to be aggressive. Man, if you enjoyed what we put out there for you this week, man, you got to come back and watch these duels because they're going to be friggin' incredible.
Let's look at the schedule again. Obviously, you'll see June 10th as the official lid lifter of the points season. There it is, and boy, it's always fun to Daytona, Talladega, where it starts off. Obviously, the big races, number 8 on the season for Talladega in the race lineup. But there you see the schedule, and obviously, I like that we're going to some new tracks before. We've never ran, of course, at let's see, Mid-Ohio. That's a road course event. I don't think we've ever ran Mid-Ohio for this series. Looking at the other dates, but I think this is just the opening 10 weeks. But Dean, in closing, man, I'll say this jokingly. We're still a week away from the official first points race for season 4, but man, as soon as this season begins, it'll fly by. We'll be deciding who'll be the champion. And I have another statistic. We've had 7 different champions of the Friday Night Cup Series, 3 different champions in the Monday Night DSR Electric Series as well for the trucks, dude. I think I want to say in closing, that shows you the competitiveness and the diversity that any driver could pop up and win the title when it's said and done.
Oh, that's a fact. I mean, I race in a couple of these things, and I'm telling you, it is no easy feat to get in that championship 6, let alone win a race, which I haven't done yet, not to talk about myself, but it's tough, man. There's a lot of good drivers and luck. When you got aggressive drivers like this, there's a little bit of luck in there. We're liable to have a new champion once again this season.
All right. Well, boy, oh boy. Is it Brady? Can we get Brady LaBeouf in here? So is it? We get Brady LaBeouf.
Is there still? Yeah, we'll try to get Brady if he's still around. I think Brady has left the building. Actually, Brady has left the building. So, anyhow, it's been a fun one though, guys. We're gonna jump off here, and man, it was a good one. Definitely took double overtime to decide the NASRA Clash. But when it's said and done, what a welcoming debut for Chrome Racing. Joey Stiers picking up the win here tonight in that 23 machine. The green machine held on and stayed where he needed to be in the right place and gets it done. And obviously, by the way, that wraps up the NRE Power Systems post-race interviews. All the other sponsors, thank you all of them, Cops and Serve Pro and Glass Mechanic, Darren's Nail Gun Repair, Pulse Poppers, Murph's Magical Creations, so many others for the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And we thank you for joining us. For Biggles, Dean Hopton, phenomenal job, obviously, on the production, as always, for DH. For Double D, Dean Hopton, my buddy up in Canada. Looking forward to working with Dean this year, as tonight was, of course, the lid lifter testing with new talent for those drivers for NASRA and new iRacing competitors. It was also Dean and I's first foyer working in the broadcast booth as well, and it's only going to get better from here. From virtual Daytona, thank you for spending your Memorial Day Monday night. Remember what this day is for. Thank you for those. All gave some, and some gave all. And I know our buddy Dean Boussette's Canadian, but I know he's also a lover of our men and women and our soldiers, as we are as American. And I know I'm proud to be an American. And I love everybody of the iRacing world. Daytona next week. The duels on deck. For Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, I think Jeff Sickles was race director tonight. For all of our crew, this is Wesley Outland thanking you and yours for joining us. Joey Stiers, winner of a wild NASRA Clash at Virtual Daytona.